Hi guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to another video, and of course this is a very much requested video that has taken me so much time to think of even what to tell you guys, because I mean anyways, so if you are tuning in here for the first time, you're most welcome, and if you are a repeat subscriber, I'm sending you all my love. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to support this video by leaving a like, and don't also forget to leave your comment down below. So just before I even continue, I'm going to say that maybe at some point in this video I'm gonna be very vague for personal reasons, but yeah, I'm just gonna give you a general overview so that we just address the elephant in the room and get rid of so much confusion that is with so many people who keep asking whether it is possible to switch from a Schengen visa to a residency permit or to a work permit or whatever. So let's get right into it. So yes, for those who do not know, or for those who are watching me for the first time, I came here in January with a Schengen visa for 3 months to learn German, and that is what I did. And then my plan was not actually to continue staying in Germany for that period. I was planning to exit the country and then go back home and apply for other opportunities, like maybe the job seeker visa or an Ausbildung. And then once I got here, I had a friend of mine, she's still my friend, from Uganda, and she told me that it's possible to prolong the visa if I get a place for an Ausbildung. So she kept pushing me like, okay, have you applied for your Ausbildung and this and that and those. And the first time I tried to apply for an Ausbildung with, I think, Diakoni, or I don't remember the organization, I didn't even get a response. I was told that I don't qualify. And the Ausbildung that she was recommending, of course, was the Altenpflege. And everyone that I was telling at that time that I want to apply for Altenpflege, they were like, yeah, totally go for it, because Altenpflegers or nurse aides or people who take care of older people in their homes are in high demand, which is a very true thing. But eventually I looked at my application, I looked at my CV, and I realized that it had some flaws here and there, and my boyfriend, being a German, was able to help me come up with a very good CV and a cover letter. And once I applied using this CV and cover letter, I was able to get accepted to even Ausbildung places. I got accepted to Caritas, which is in Duisburg. I got a contract with them, and they linked me to a nursing school, which was like Theodor Fliedner Stiftung, something like that. So everything was working well, and of course in my mind I thought it was possible to use this contract to prolong my 3-month visa or to change to residency permit. And let me just keep the record straight, it is not possible. Trust me, why I'm telling you, because I tried. I had even started my Ausbildung and I did it for, I think, 5 days, and since it was really getting problematic with the documentation, I had to drop out of the program. And I really felt bad, because it was an opportunity that was going to pay me like, I think, 1,100 and something euros per month as I continued to study and to learn to become a Pflegefachfrau, or like nursing specialist or something like that. But I guess that was just not my path, so I dropped out of it, and I continued knocking from office to office, calling the Ausländerbehörde, sending an email, and I cannot imagine how much my boyfriend was helping me through this process, but again, it did not work. So once I saw that things are not working and time is running out, I packed my bags and I was ready to go back home, with the hope that since I already had a contract with the Caritas and whatever, then I would be able to return with this contract, which would have been okay. But along the way, I met an obstacle that I did not anticipate, and I got really scared. Really scared. So for those of you out there who are saying, I want to come through the intensive language program, or to come and learn the language as you did, sometimes I look at those comments and I laugh, because it's very easy for you to admire somebody else's life and you don't know what they had to go through to get to where they are, or what you don't know what they had to do to get to where they are. The question is, are you willing or able or do you have enough grace to go through, to walk the path that they walked to get where they are? That's the question that I just need you to ask yourself. So yes, I met this very big obstacle. I got really scared. I got really traumatized, and I remember that day telling God, God, if it's one day that I've ever wished to die, is today. And at the end of the day, me being a person of faith, I just thought to turn to God. And if there is anything that has helped me to get to the point that I am today, is honestly my faith in God. Trusting God when it makes no sense, when it's impossible. I found myself between a rock and a hard place, and I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know what to do. And trust me, one day I'm going to give you this full story, but for now, as I told you from the beginning, I'm gonna be vague. Yes, so I got to that place and I got really scared, and I got to question God, and I told God, God, why have you abandoned me? But I picked myself up, because God can never really abandon you. Because for me, during the time that I was in Duisburg, all those 3 months, I was praying so much. I was praying for me to be able to find a way to maybe stay in the country, not to need to go back home. And when I saw that things are not working out, I felt like, God, have you let me down or something like that? But I just told God, God, if you are God, you are going to get me out of this situation. So yes, what I want to tell you is that it is not possible to change from a Schengen visa to a residency permit, not possible to change from a Schengen visa to a work permit. And yes, of course, you're asking yourself, but you're still there and you're working. So what I'm telling you is I had to bypass protocol. And how did I do that? I really had to turn to God. 16 days of fasting. I was only having one meal a day, and that is dinner just once, and that's it. I lost so much weight. I was praying day and night for God to give me sufficient grace to bypass protocol. And God being God, because he cannot deny himself, he did. He came through for me. He held my hand throughout this time. And you kept asking yourselves, oh, what happened to this girl? Why did she go? Yes, I had to go under, because as I told you, I got really scared. I faced a situation that I was really scared. The last thing I wanted to do is to even talk about it. And I know you're asking yourself, what could have been so bad? Trust me, one day I'm gonna sit right in front of this camera and I'm going to tell you the whole story, and we are going to laugh about it. For now, just know that it was not as easy as you think, but God saw me through. So it is not something that happens. It is not something that you should sit down and say, you know what, which school did you apply to? Which school did you go to? I also want to do the same and come and work in Germany because I want to help my parents or my siblings. I'm a breadwinner. All that I understand. But the path that I chose, or the path that I used, I didn't even know that things were gonna turn out the way they did. But again, I guess that God has different plans for us. So what I can advise you, pray to God, let him give you guidance and insight of what path you need to follow. But don't go for a 3 months visa if you intend to extend your stay in this country. In some rare cases, it does happen that people come here with the 3 months visa and they are lucky enough they get a Mzungu, that's a German guy, or maybe a guy from one of these European countries. They end up getting married because it is possible to get married in Denmark. But do you really want to marry somebody that you just met for 3 months? People end up in very abusive marriages, and somebody who wants to engage you and to marry you for within that short period, most of the time they are usually not straight upstairs. They are not okay, and you are going to go through so much trauma. I am in a group where I see people sharing their stories, sharing their experiences about their life in Germany, and it is not all green pastures. Trust me, people are in very abusive marriages. I see people asking to leave their partners every single day because things are not just working. Things are just traumatic because they married for the wrong reasons. They married because maybe they wanted to stay. They did not take time to know the other person, or they just wanted to marry for documents. If you do that, most of the time it's going to fail on you very, very flat. And in another video, I'm going to be sharing with you like other pathways actually that you can use to come to Germany and to stay here legally and to get your residency permit and all that without having to worry about maybe getting into problems with the law. So I hope this is clear. I had to bypass protocol, and that was really through prayer and fasting and seeking God, and I saw God coming through for me with the biblical magnitude, you know, the type, you know, the parting the Red Seas magnitude, the shutting the mouths of lions magnitude, the walking out of the fire magnitude. Okay, I don't want you to think that it was that bad, but yes, I'm not kidding. It was really a situation that every day when I think about it, I say, God, thank you for coming through for me. If it were not for you, parting the Red Seas, I would not be where I am today. If it were not for you, like crowning me with favor as a shield, I would not have been here today. And to be honest, I have experienced the favor of God. Ever since that time, I've experienced the favor of God. I've experienced like people who go out of their way to help me. Doors have opened for me. I'm telling you, even getting a job, I did not have to struggle. Somebody just recommended me to this job, and I went, and even though this person actually made me get there late because they were just behaving like, I don't know, a very uncivilized people, and I almost even missed my interview. I was still given the chance to interview that first day, and I went for a second interview and I passed. And when I passed my second interview, even before I could get home, I had already received, you know, like this, they are called what, personal, I've forgotten. But anyway, those documents that they need, you know, for your file, like your taxpayer number, your personal number, your medical insurance number, all those things that you need like for employment in Germany. By the time I got home, I had already been sent a form to provide these documents, to provide my ID and all that, and within no time everything had fallen into place and I had started working. Within 2 weeks from the time I went for the interview, I had all my documents together and I started working. So yes, God has been good to me. God has come through for me, and yes, I was able to get my work permit to allow me to work and to live my life. So I know that is not what you are expecting to hear, but that is just the truth. Before I leave, I can give you one piece of advice. Yes, if you want to follow the language path like I did, and this is something that I wish I knew before I made my application, is don't go for the 3 months Schengen visa. Make sure your language studies is more than 3 months. Maybe make it 4 months, 6 months, or just go for the language study. We also have like people who come to do the language study for 1 year, or yeah, for 1 year, and that visa can usually, or maybe for 8 months, whatever, but that visa can usually be extended maximum 1 year. Some way that one you can bypass and get to stay in the country, even though you are supposed to return home. But with a long-term visa, it can be extended, but with 3 month visa, it cannot be extended. Again, I repeat, if you are going to go with the language path, do not apply for only 3 month visa. Try to apply for 4 months visa, because then you will be given the visa category D, and visa category D can at least be extended. But visa category C is a maximum of 30 days, no, of 90 days, so it cannot be extended beyond 90 days. I hope you found this video useful. I hope now you have some clarity. I hope now you can stop bombarding me with those questions like, how were you able to extend? I had to bypass protocol, and this I had to seek God where he could be found. And I wish I could link a photo here of how thin I am and how my jawbones were popping out and all that, because I really had to turn to God for divine intervention. And the good thing is that God never fails. The people that say there is no God, they don't know what they're talking about. I can say I've seen God face to face. If it were not for God, I would not be here. Nah, nah, mm-mm. Yes, but there is God. So if you are thinking of embarking on an immigration journey and God is not in your plan, forget. If you do not know how to fast, my friend, start learning how to fast today. If you do not know how to wake up in the middle of the night to pray, my friend, teach yourself. Immigration is something that is followed by so much obstacle. Why? Because outside of Africa, I know Africa is a good continent. Let me, don't come with stones or leaves on me. Africa is a very good continent and there are very good places to live out there. But out here in Europe, there is a reason why the devil keeps stopping us from crossing those borders, because they know that you can get some milk and honey in these countries. I'm telling you, Germany being one of the best countries that you want to live in, and we are going to talk about that in another video. And that's why I'm telling you, it is going to be received with so much opposition. And if you do not involve God in it, you will keep wondering why you keep trying and trying and trying and nothing is happening. Ask me. I started trying when I finished my university in 2010. When did I get to Europe? In 2022. It took me 12 years. But then again, I remember this is something that my dad told me. Do not question God. David was promised the throne when he was a young boy, but it took him 13 years before he would sit on the throne. But God is faithful. He does not go back on his promises. I don't know, I've started talking too much, but I just needed to share this. I just felt compelled to share. And when it comes to Germany, when it comes to me being in Germany, and when I see that doors open for me, I see that people are nice to me, I do not face like racism or whatever. I feel that the country has accepted me. And because I believe that it was God's purpose for me to come here. I wanted to come to Germany way back when, maybe in around 2017. I think that's the first time that I went to the German embassy and I did not get the visa. But back then, after getting denied the visa, I remember I went into a 21-day prayer and fasting. And no, I think I was fasting for 21 days for so many times. But then there is one time I went for 3 days dry fasting and prayer. And usually when I would fast and pray, even it still happens, when I fast and pray, then I get a visitation, at least from God. I get a vision, I get dreams just showing me what is happening. But this time, after 3 days and nights praying and fasting, I finished and I asked myself, I did not hear from God this time, what happened? And then I get a message from my pastor, whom I had not shared about my plans to move abroad or to even come to Germany. And he said, I got a visitation from God regarding you and your daughter moving to a new country to settle. And because I was praying so much about Germany at that time, I knew that God had already spoken about me and my daughter coming to Germany to settle. Then things did not work out. Then now, once you receive that word of prophecy, my friend, it's not that time to relax and waiting for the plane to come and take you. No, that is where now the devil will try to challenge this vision, to challenge this dream, until it was so much challenge until I questioned it and I said maybe I had wrong. I was not patient enough. That was in 2017. And I felt, why are things not happening? If God said we are going, why are we not going? I'm going to Qatar. When doors opened so easily for Qatar, I carried my bag and I went to Qatar. And things still worked out very well for me. So still I think that God had to take me through the desert. Literally, Qatar being a desert. Yes, God had to take me through the desert for 3 years. And then bring me back home for me to now get to the promised land. And for me, this is my promised land. In another video, I'm gonna be telling you why I'm not leaving this place. So I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay. This video is already too long. I can talk until tomorrow. You know me when I start talking. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in another video.